There's a quote I love from one of my favorite authors, James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, and it says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, instead you fall to the level of your systems." And this is true. Being in the financial industry, you get to see so many people who get lucky with money. Truth be told, a lot of people get lucky with money through fraudulent activities and they get lucky, or some people just inheritance, generational wealth, and they get born into inheritance and they get lucky with money. But the difference between somebody who has a money habit and somebody who gets lucky with money is sustainability over time. Let me say that again. The difference between someone who gets lucky with money and somebody who develops money-making habits is sustainability over time. So presently I'm on vacation and I was having a chat with one of my favorite uncles, and then he said, you know what, if you look at the percentage, there's a high percentage of wealthy people who pass wealth to their children but no wealth making habits. And that's why this wealth don't last when it passes from father to son. We have so many examples in Nigeria, even outside the country. We have a lot of examples of parents who pass wealth to their kids but no wealth making habits, and this money don't last with your kids. So the difference is sustainability over time. That's why today I'm super excited about the topic we'll be discussing, which is the 5 money-making habits that made me a millionaire. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and if you're returning, welcome back. Don't forget to like and comment and let me know what you think. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. This is Rural Exit with Uyime Ajufo, where we are all about being better than where we came from. So let's start quickly. The first one, being intentional about the network of friends with similar goal. So let me say this again. Being intentional about the network of friends with similar goals. So I keep telling everyone, I come from a very poor background, and by default, my friends, of course, come from poor backgrounds. So when I finally got to Abuja and I got my first job, it was a very low paying job. I was being paid about 45,000 after tax deduction. So 50 before tax, 45 thereabout. And I was really okay with it because, truth be told, I had friends who didn't even have a job. I had friends who were busy collecting money from their parents, who were managing. I had friends who had jobs of the same pay category. So I was fine, right? At least I was among the lucky ones to even have a job. That was the mindset. So I was really okay with it. But because I was, a career person, I had friends in my industry, I was always going out for meetings, meeting people. I built a new set of friends, and I was always relating with them. And this is a clause, don't go have friends and all you guys are talking about is guys. Okay, you guys should talk about money. So I had new set of friends. There was this particular friend, we were just talking, and she mentioned, "Oh, Uyime, you're really intelligent. I'm really happy being with you. You're so intelligent." Okay, so we talked, and it got to a point when she asked, "Okay, what do you earn? You're in IT firms. I heard IT firms pay really high. What do you earn?" And of course, I wasn't going to lie. And that's another second clause. Don't lie about your money status if you want to go up. So I told her the truth. I was being paid 45K. And she was like, "Did you just say 45,000? And I said, "Yes, I'm being paid 45,000. She said, "Never, don't." I remember vividly. She was like, "Never, never, don't accept that, okay? Uyime, you need to write your CV, you need to upgrade yourself, you need to take some certain certifications, and you need to start applying for jobs. You cannot earn below 6 figures." She showed me a salary slip, and she was earning about 140 then. She said, "Look, I'm earning 140 and I'm not half as intelligent as you are. So I'm expecting you to earn between 180, 200 and 250. Those guys earning those money don't have 2 heads." I'm not even kidding. Those were what she was telling me. And then I was like, this girl might make a point, So I went back, and of course the coward girl in me went back to beg my boss to increase my salary by, I think, 20,000. And I was like, so maybe if I'm earning 60,000, it's still okay. But he refused to increase my salary. And that was what ignited the anger in me. And then I did my CV, I started applying, I started talking to people. And like my friend, predicted, I got a job that was paying 6 figures, way even better than what she was earning as of that time. Okay, and she wasn't the only one who did that to me. I had other friends who I went to seek advice from after speaking with her. Now, what do you think? My friend said I should leave my job, and they were like, Uyime, don't tell me you're earning 45,000. In fact, I feel so bad I never asked you. So the first step is for you to get network of friends who have similar goals. When I was in my old category of friends, I'm not saying you should leave your old friends, but then when you have new goals, you build new network of friends in relation to that goal. So that is the first secret. You hear people saying the rich are just friends with the rich. You don't want to be friends with the poor. I don't really necessarily blame them, because you want to be surrounded by people who have the same goal with you. Okay. Now, if you meet some of your friends and then you make 200k or 300k, and they're looking at you like, you're so rich. Whereas there are some people you meet and you're like, I made 300k, and you're like, okay, you're coming up, you're doing well, but you can do way better. That's really small. Those are actually the set of people that will ginger you to do better, not the ones that always pat you at the back because they see you as a small god. So you have to be intentional about building a network of friends with similar goal. Now, the second one is exposure. Okay, now I know the most popular form of exposure that a lot of us are used to is the social media, because that's easy to do. Okay, just go to your social media feed and scroll and scroll. So that's really easy to do. But that is the laziest form of exposure, because it takes a lot to filter the right people to follow. And a lot of us don't do that. Now, the most important part of exposure, which I'll be dwelling on today, is reading, which is books, and the second one, traveling. Now, I'm going to do this real quick, okay? Now, books, let me just put this straight to you. Poor man no dey read book. See, don't even get it twisted. Broke man no dey read book. Average-minded person no dey read book. Let me just tell you the truth. You see, there are different kind of wealth. Okay, now, like I said, there's the lucky one, and there's the one you actually intentionally work towards. Why do you think rich, smart people always read? Because there's a secret to reading. It's important that you widen your mind by reading. I remember when I started to take my reading serious, it changed a lot about me, from my vocabularies to my intellectual capacity, to my boldness, being able to relate to people above me just because I've read something about it. It gave me this new level of boldness. And the second one is traveling. I remember the first time I ever flew a plane. Okay, so I'm not one of those kids who grew up with vacation flying. The only vacation we had was going to the village. Yeah. So I remember when I first took a plane, and that was in my year 3, either year 3 or year 4 in university. I was like, I can't finish school without flying. I want to experience flying. I've always been traveling, but by road and to the village, like I said, but I wanted to fly. I just wanted to see what it looked like. So I think it was Dana Air then, and it was 12,000 naira. They were doing like a bonus or something. And then I booked the ticket and I flew. But the first thing I noticed was at the airport, I saw people I wanted to be like. At the airport, I saw people I wanted to be like. I saw some white guys, I saw some black guys, I saw some career women, with their fancy laptop and their nails done and their hair slick, and they were all typing. Everybody was busy. Of course, I saw the other set, but my eyes were really fixed at the career people I really wanted to be like. I saw they all traveled. Those were not the kind of people I saw in AKTC. If you frequent Akwa Ibom, you know what AKTC is. Those were not the kind of people I saw in AKTC. Whenever I use AKTC, people selling palm oil, carrying afang, everybody is tight, everybody is sweating, everybody is cursy. But at the plane or at the airport, I saw people I really wanted to be like. So exposure matters, and these two forms of exposure is really important: reading and traveling. Number 3, expenses. You see, so I told you in the beginning of how I was earning really little, and then I increased to earning more, right? One thing I noticed really changed with me was my expenses grew with my new level of earning. In fact, I ended up living paycheck to paycheck. This is me earning about ×5 of what I used to earn before. And all of a sudden, my expenses is now much. I never know. Now, I didn't know how to take local cars anymore. I was always using Uber or Bolt. I couldn't go to my local restaurant anymore. I was now going to fancy restaurants to have breakfast and dinner. I started going to expensive places or buying expensive clothes, and my expenses, increased. So then I had to cut myself, and I had to talk to myself, baby girl, you don't have anybody except God. So cut your coat according to your size. And that was when I had to learn financial literacy, and the first thing I did was cut my expenses. So I saved more than I spent. Okay, that may be too rash for you, or that may be too harsh for you, or maybe too hard for you, but I knew what I wanted, and then I had to do that. So I cut my expenses really good, because the truth is, it's not about how much you make, but how much you're able to keep and grow. Number 4, keep learning. This really helped me. So like I said, I'm an IT person, but I realized that whenever I'm talking about money, my eyes sparkle. Can you see sparkling right now? Whenever I'm talking about money, my eyes sparkle. I'm excited. I could talk for hours. I get really excited. I'm able to break things down for people. I'm getting my book, my pen, and I'm talking to you about it. And someone suggested, Uyime, why don't you take your financial education further? And I'm like, but I didn't read that in school. And they said, so what? And that was how I did. I kept learning, I kept reading, I kept paying for education, I kept paying for knowledge. I spent so much learning a lot about money. I spent so much money learning about money. Now here's the trick, okay? Like I told you, I have friends who also come from poor backgrounds like I did, right? But I've noticed that I still have the same set of friends who bought my goal management notepad in 2018 or so. Yeah, it's a notepad to help aid productivity. The same set of friends registered for my financial literacy, the same set of rich friends, not necessarily rich, but the same set of comfortable friends. Whereas my friends who don't have much don't do that. They don't register for any of this. They don't buy productivity products. They don't pay for financial education. They don't invest in knowledge. They don't do that. I noticed. I could advertise till tomorrow and they will still not pay for this. But these are the people who need the knowledge more, right? But how come my friends who are working, who are earning, they are the ones paying for this knowledge? It helped me to understand that's another money-making habit. Your ability to invest in yourself. Your ability to invest in your growth. It's a money-making habit. So when I realized that, oh my goodness, there's a set of people who never see the importance of paying money down to invest in themselves. They are, let me manage. Let's manage. How will I pay 10,000? But you've forgotten that you pay 10,000 and end up making like 200K or 100K on your 10,000 that you paid. Now, only the poor people look at the capital. The rich-minded people look at the return on investment. And so when I realized that, man, I had to shift. I'm still friends with you guys, but I had to shift and move with my friends who were ready to invest in themselves and invest in their knowledge. The 5th and final habit is practice over perfection. Now, I'm one to get really scared. I don't want to make mistakes, okay? I don't want to be seen as a failure. But that is wrong. And when I learned that, it really changed things for me. So I remember about 4 years ago, either 4 or 3 years ago, I created my first product, Goal Management Notepad. And I also remember like 2 or 3 years ago, I started my YouTube channel. Last year, I started my financial literacy class. The moment I realized, just start. You don't have to be perfect. Just start. Just keep doing it. Keep daring. Things changed for me financially. When an idea comes to my mind, I do my basic research. I see if it's something I can do. I see if it's a product I could sell, and I go for it. Presently, I have 2 projects I'm about to start. I just want to finish a pending project which I started last year. Once I'm done with that, I have 2 major projects I want to do this year. And guess what? I know once in a while I'm a bit scared, but I really am not going to make decisions out of fear. I'm going to go for it. Yes, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to start. I don't have to be perfect in retail, but I'm still going to go for it. So once I see something I feel like I want to do, I'm not going to wait to be perfect in it. If your first product is perfect, then you started very late. Yeah, that's one thing I learned. If your first product is perfect, if your first service is perfect, if your first business is perfect, whatever you're doing and the first attempt is perfect, then you started very late. So I'm going to start. I'm going to practice. I'm going to learn as I go. I'm not going to wait to be perfect. And because of this, each time an idea comes to my mind and I do my feasibility study and I see it's something I can do, I don't wait for the perfect timing. I do it. So I decided to choose practice over perfection. I decided to start and see how it goes. I'm super excited I was able to share this with you, and I hope that you learned something really, really interesting. And don't forget, you cannot get lucky every time. You've got to develop some money-making habits to enable sustainability over a long period of time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And yeah, don't forget to like and comment and keep being better than where you came from. Love.